a lion turned to a man with a lot of earrings. And he said, you know what? You cannot run away from me. Middle pillar of the church. And everybody was scared. Everybody was scared. They were gazing at her. Little did she know that what they were saying was a wild animal. And of course, nobody wants to sit beside an animal. How can somebody be the wife of a lion? Isn't that weird? Isn't that incredible?
Well, hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time, so I've been getting a lot of requests to bring my mom back and to continue the spiritual story times. It's been a while. It's just been a lot going on, you know. We're in a global pandemic, 2020. I'm running a business. There's just been a lot going on. Before we move forward in the video, I would love you to subscribe, hit that like button, hit the notification bell. Be sure to follow my Instagram, follow my TikTok. The PSA, before we move forward in the video, I have something to say.
Go on.
So in the previous video, I was getting a lot of people on me like, you're so rude. You don't let your mom talk. Why don't you let your mom talk?
But I've always been talking. What do they mean?
What do they mean, Mom?
Oh,
I've been very confused. I was like, I thought I'd let you talk the whole video.
Of course, I talk a lot. And I've always been talking. So I don't know what they mean.
So I just wanted you guys to know that I'm not a rude daughter.
She's just a very decent, respectful, wonderful, amazing daughter.
I'm not rude.
At all. She's not. No.
So let's clear that up.
That's cleared. Completely cleared off.
And good vibes all around.
I've got stories.
Volumes.
I've got a lot. Volumes. Keep on watching. You will never ever get tired. Trust me.
Okay, guys, let's get into the video.
She was a young, no, not young, middle age, but single all her life. She doesn't have a suitor. Nobody talks to her. Nobody asks her out. She will even be on the train. Nobody will want to sit beside her. Even if there's a lot of vacancy on the train, on the bus, they would rather stand up holding the rail instead of them sitting beside her. And she doesn't know why, you know. Little did she know that what they were saying was a wild animal. And of course, nobody wants to sit beside an animal. She was the wife of a lion. And of course, she behaves like a lion.
Wait, okay, Mom.
How can somebody be the wife of a lion? Isn't that weird? Isn't that incredible?
Well, I know it sounds crazy, guys, but this actually happened, and it happened in around 2008. So let's go back to the beginning, Mom.
All right.
What is part one of the story?
Good.
Let's go.
Today we were in the middle of the service. And then we were praying, we were praising the Lord, and suddenly I just had a noise. Bam, boom, boom. What was that? And before I knew it, this lady went on her knee, her 2 nails, and she had her hand on the floor. So 2 hands on the floor, her 2 nails on the floor, and she was calling, and she was making noise as she was boom, 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 backing, and she was making a circle round the pillar, the middle pillar of the church. And everybody was scared. Everybody was scared. They were gazing at her. But she would not stop because she wasn't even the one doing it. So she wasn't conscious. She went on like that, went on like that. And suddenly, after a lot of prayers, she stopped. And the moment she stopped, she opened her eyes, but she could not get up. We had to call the prayer warriors to start praying on her before she could stand on her feet. And when she stood on her feet, I prayed for her and I began to ask her questions. Hey, Liao, she said she was the wife of a lion. What? Wife of who? And she said she was in her dream. I said, in your dream, how can you be a wife to an animal, lion? Is there any man named a lion? She said, no. The lion was actually the animal. I said, how do you mean? She said, ever since she's been in our country, she came from Gambia. She said, ever since she was young, she always have a dream of sleeping with an animal. Right from when she was 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old, she would be having dreams sleeping with a lion. But she thought that is because she loved to be watching animal kingdom films and all of that.
Well, like, Mom, when you say sleeping with, do you mean sleeping in the bed or do you mean making?
No, not making love.
Okay,
but she
just
would
sleeping in
the same bed with a lion. And she said all the time the lion will not hurt her. The lion will be cuddling her. The lion will be making a friend with her. The lion will always want to massage her body and touch her body. And she said she will enjoy. And when she wake up, she feels the absence of the lion and she will become so sad. I said, what? Oh my God. And I said, did you ever try to say your dream to anyone? Yeah, she said back in the days, because she wasn't living with her mom. Her dad died when she was young, so she was living with her grandmom. So anytime she says that to her grandma just shut her up and said, no, that doesn't make sense. What do you mean? And this is why a lot of people are getting it wrong. When your child wants to tell you a dream or whatever, give him or her a listening ears, and never would you ever say that, oh, you are talking jargons, I don't want to hear. Listen, because these children are actually going through a lot and they do not understand what it means. So you need to give them your listening ears. So this lady went on and on. And she said when she got to England, the dream continued. I said, what? She said, yes. And she said, in her dream, yeah, one day she saw the lion, and the lion was sleeping with her. This time around was touching her, was actually trying to make love to her. Say, eh? And she said that was when she had turned from a former religion. I don't want to quote the name of the religion so that it will not be like one is trying to, you know what I mean? So I'm going to keep that a secret, but she wasn't a Christian then.
At that point.
At that point. So she said in her dream, she saw that the lion turned, when he was trying to touch her and she was moving, and he turned to a man. I said, what? And the lion mentioned his name to her. And she said, what? You are a lion? He said, it's not a lion. And she said she saw him with earrings in his 2 ears. And the earrings were as big as mine. And they were coming from the top here down. And she said, how can a man, a lion, turn to a man with a lot of earrings? And he said, you know what? You cannot run away from me. She said, you cannot run away from me. How? And he told her that your father betrothed you to me. What? She said, right from when you were 8 years old, your father has given your hand in marriage to him.
Wait, what?
Given
her dad in real life.
In real life had actually betrothed her.
That died.
That died. To this lion of a man, or a man of a lion. Call it any English you want to name.
Okay, so how does that work?
The father, while the girl died, the father died when the girl was young. So meaning that the father was into a witchcraft. So this man that turned to a lion is not ordinary human being. During the day, it will appear as human being. In the night, it will go back into the body of animal.
Okay, so Mum, this is going to be new to a lot of people that watch.
Yes.
There are people who can turn into animals.
Of course, yes. And okay, think about it. Have you seen a lot of video on YouTube that they caught some women in the daytime? They were flying as bird and they fell. They fell down on the daylight time, and they turned to human being. It happened. Have you not seen it? On YouTube, even in Nigeria, in Africa, a lot of times that there was a time that a woman fell on a story building on the balcony during the day, and she was making noise, and they were wondering that how did she get there, and she was half naked, and she began to confess that she went into a meeting, witchcraft meeting. What do they not turn to? They turn to cats. They turn to birds. You see, in foreign country, when you see cat, you say, "Oh, lovely cat, kitty." But
not in Nigeria.
I took my daughter and her siblings to Nigeria on holiday, because ever since they got to England, they have not gone back to Nigeria. I think after they've spent about 12 years or thereabout in the United Kingdom, we now decided to travel to Nigeria. So that night we were in the car, we were on our way to the church vigil. You know what we mean by vigil? When you stay up late night praying in the church. So as we were going, the driver was driving as I was in the car, my children were in the car, and then suddenly a cat just walked past, boom, ran in front of the car. And my daughter Gold said, "Oh, look at that beautiful kitty." And one of the family friends is in the US now. Fola, he said, "Eh? What did I just say? You heard you say kitty. You can say that in England. That one that you saw is a which is going to a meeting." It could be strange to you in the Western world, but back home in Africa, they turn into animals, and they turn to weird animals. They can turn to anything.
Okay, Mom. So the man that she's
now,
married to,
the man that she's married to, she never knew, half human, half animal. But nobody knows. It's only, he's a wizard. Men are wizards, women are witches. So it was only the father, because the father himself was possessed. He was into demonic powers. In real life.
Her real father.
Her real father. He was in a brotherhood. You know, all these people, they give their soul. They sell their soul to the devil because they want fame, because they want money. And ignorantly, they will lure their children into it without the consent of the children. So he has married this daughter of his to that animal. And this was the reason why this girl never saw anybody ask her out. No man talked to her at all. Yeah? So until that night, after she's been coming to church, she's been receiving counseling, she's been coming to prayer night and all of that, that she got her eyes widely opened and saw the animal turn to human being. Because she could not even tell anybody. The moment that she tried to tell her grandma, and her grandmom shut her up, ever since then she was scared to say it to any other person. Wow. So not until the day that she was behaving like an animal, right? And the spirit of that animal came into her.
I want to ask, what does that mean? So when you were doing the church service, and she started acting like an animal, can you explain to the people what that was? Why did she start acting like that when church was going on?
Because the power of God, the power of Jesus came upon her, and the power of Jesus suppressed the spirit of demons that was in her. So the body could not accommodate the demons anymore, and the demon showed itself. If you go to the story of Jesus Christ, when Jesus Christ met with a man that said he was possessed with several demons, Jesus did not even talk to him. He just saw Jesus Christ coming, and he said, "Oh, man of God, what do you want from me? Do you come to destroy me before my time?" And Jesus was not even going to him. And Jesus said, "Oh, come out of him." And Jesus Christ, "What is your name?" He said, "We are many." He said, "Because it's a legion." And he begged Jesus Christ that Jesus Christ should not destroy him, that he should send him into the pigs. So whenever the power of God comes upon against this evil spirit, they succumb. They become powerless. So that time, the demon in her became so powerless. So he began to show himself. So he could not hide anymore. The power of Jesus Christ humiliated the bad spirit and caused the bad spirit to reveal itself. Couldn't contain it. So he came out, and the moment he came out, he has been humiliated. So that way, there's no hiding space for him anymore. And that was why the occupier of the evil spirit could speak out. She now had the confidence to reveal and to speak of all what she's been going through. Because before she was being handicapped, she was living under the bondage of that evil spirit. So she could not get herself out until when Jesus Christ humiliated the spirit. And this is why if you see anybody that confesses who they are, type of demon that they belong to in the congregation of Jesus Christ, they will be set free. And they will not be able to go back into that demonic kingdom anymore. Now, the moment she said that, I said, what? And she said, the man said she can never go because the man, her father has given her hand in marriage to her. And I said, what? When she woke up, I said, we have to go through a process of deliverance. So I put her in a dry fast. And I also went in dry fast.
What is a dry fast for people who don't know?
Good. Dry fast is, number one, you will not eat for 24 hours of a day. And I told her, and you won't believe this, she is a very, very, very stronger person in fasting.
Than you.
Than even me. And she was contained with the Hebrew spirit, and she's fasting. Sometimes you see some people, you see, no, they can fast marathonly, they can stay all days without eating. It doesn't mean that they are pure, a saint. So as at the time that I was talking to her, that, are you ready to leave that animal? She said, of course, now that she knows that it's not meant to be in her life. Now she's been humiliated. So now that that man has humiliated her publicly because she felt so really ashamed of herself, when we told her what she was doing, because she was not conscious.
When she was barking.
When she was back.
Barking.
When she was barking. You know, it was a different spirit. She was being blindfolded.
She was possessed.
She was possessed.
So when she came out of it,
she didn't know what she was doing.
On.
But everybody saw her. So upon coming back to life, and she had what she did, she became so embarrassed. And she said, if God could humiliate her like that, what does she want with the animal? So we went to the process of fasting.
Okay, so I've got a question. So, for example, now, like, you know how in the previous videos we've been talking about, like, you know, witches and women who have been in, you know, possessed, but most of them is maybe because they did, like, for this woman, did she even know she was possessed?
She didn't know. She was living in another world.
Wow, because that's what I'm saying. Because with
she
her,
was living
she didn't
completely
even
in another
know
world,
that
and
she was a witch.
And she doesn't know. What she just knew was that she said that in her normal life, she doesn't like to relate with people. Do you call them introvert?
Oh, like an introvert. She was a loner. She
was a loner. She doesn't even have friends. She just wants to just be on her own. That's her nature. But she doesn't know why. She thought that that was her habit or something. Even when she was in the university, people still look at her. She'll to even say hi. Even when she joined the church, she will not say hi to anyone. She'll just get into the church, sit in her place, do not chat with anybody aside of me. Pray and say good morning, pastor, good afternoon, and she's gone before you know it. But little did she know that it was because she was in bondage. The person that was married to her wasn't human being. So how could she relate to human being? So she's more or less not a normal creature. Now, when she now became so conscious of what was going on around her, that was when she now began to read meanings to the fact that, she's now 38 years. She has never had one boyfriend in her life. She was still a virgin.
38.
At 38 years. And she never thought that it was anything serious. She kept on living her life like that. Until when Jesus delivered her and she knew where she was, that she now knew that she was not meant to be in that kind of world. And that was when she began to, the day that she was telling me how many people would not sit beside her, she was crying, she was sobbing. She said, and she's so beautiful.
Yeah, she's so beautiful.
Oh my God.
Such a beautiful
very, very
woman.
beautiful. If you look at her figure,
So
if you look at her shape, but nobody will ever ask her out. Because why? Who they saw was animal. Because when she was a friend to the animal will not come in daytime. The animal will come in the night.
In her
In our dream. Psalm 74 verse 20 said, honor that covenant. The dark places of the world is inhabited by evil people. So that is why they come in the night. That is why they practice in the night. That is why they operate in the night. So in the night, she will see the animal. But normally on a good day, she won't see him. But instead of her to be able to relate to a normal human being like her during daytime, nobody wants to relate to her because they see her as animal. And she does not see herself as one until the day that she behaved like an animal in the church. That was when the spirit, because I remember I was shouting that, open all the doors, make sure you begin to pray, because when this evil spirit leave our body, is going to your body if you stop praying. So you remember the church was praying fervently, so that when the spirit comes from her, the spirit went and disappeared and perished. And that was when she now, because when she was behaving like an animal, the spirit of animal was moving out of her body. So it walked out of her body completely. And ever since then, she began to talk to people. She began to listen to people. She later got engaged miraculously. As I speak to you now, she's married and she's living a very, very beautiful life. But before then, it was hell.
My God.
Hell. Hell of hell.
Wow. So guys, that was the story time. I know it's going to be a lot, so I'm going to try and unpack some of the things. I wanted my mom to say the story first before anyone says I'm interrupting. And then I wanted to ask her questions to explain further so we can have a further understanding. So when she was younger, she was sold, basically.
Yeah, she was sold because her dad was a wizard. What do I mean by wizard? Her dad had another spirit. Her dad
was part of a witchcraft, witch coven, brotherhood.
He is a demon, brotherhood. Or he sold his soul to the devil. So you know, there's always a covenant. That's why some people put their children as a replacement, that in case they die, they will say that child is the one that will take over without the awareness, without the awareness of the child. Without the information, the child does not even have any idea. The child will just begin to live an abnormal life, and the child will not know who or what got her to that place.
That's wild. The woman is extremely successful, happy, married. She's my auntie. I love her. And I'm so grateful that God was able to deliver her through our church, through my mom's anointing, through prayer, and through our love. And I don't know, guys, if there's any of you struggling with first of all, leave questions under the comment section, and I would definitely have my mom and I reply to some of them.
Especially if you are somebody that always want to stay alone.
Yeah, it's not
you just
always
want to
a
be.
good trait.
It's not. You just want to be by yourself. You know, you don't want to talk to anyone. It's just you feel that is your mood. And if it is a mood, it has to be on one of it. It's not supposed to be permanently you. If you know what I mean. So there's a lot of questions that you could.
There's a lot that's happening. I know that the people's changing into animals is going to be a big one for some people. Some people aren't going to believe it.
Of course.
Know, and I don't blame you guys, because how can you believe something? If you go
back to watch our previous videos, you will see the house help that we got. We were paying salary. We never knew that she was a rat. She was possessed.
There's a lot going on out there. Be careful, guys. Make sure you stay prayed up. Make sure you stay close to Jesus. Make sure you believe in God and you don't play around with any of these scary witchcraft, Ouija boards,
just
demonic
give your life to Jesus.
Be very careful, because you don't know what you're
and stop eating just carelessly. Not before you eat, know what you want to eat. Before you sleep, know where you want to sleep. Before you just, there are some people that you even associate yourself, even trying to kiss somebody, you could get hypnotized to.
Really, Mom?
Of course, Dominic. You don't know.
Just it.
They can pass it. They can pass demons, spirits, bad spirit through lip to lip. There's no way they can transfer this stuff. That's
true, actually.
Yeah, but if you have fire,
yeah, if you're protected, if you pray,
if you have given your life to Jesus Christ, if you have Him only as your Lord and your Savior, and you don't have any other side God aside of Him, and you are in close relationship with Jesus Christ, they will never ever get power to penetrate into you. You will just be like a rock. You know when they throw a stone at the rock will throw the stone back at them, isn't it? That's it.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you for listening.
We will definitely be back with another supernatural story time.
Very soon.
And
very soon.
If you guys have any story times, if you guys have any encounters that you've been through, make sure you comment them down below. We would love to read them and share with each other all the things that's going on in the spiritual world, to encourage each other, to help each other, to educate each other, because all of this stuff are really real and people really think it's not real.
It's
like, what do you think people create horror movies from?
I don't know.
Most of these horror movies are from real stories.
Of course they are. Of
course, people think all of this stuff is fiction. Where do
if I meet whoever that writes stories, I'm going to make a lot of money. Trust me. Because I've got a lot that are just natural thing happening that you might think that, oh, are you sure? Seriously, they are.
I don't think anything can shock me anymore.
Yeah, you've
seen everything. And that's why it really takes a lot to scare me too. I don't really get scared because it's just like when something is your reality or you've seen it since you were a child, it becomes normal. I love you guys so much. Don't kill me for being inconsistent. I'm going to be way more consistent, guys. Expect another video very soon. Is it a supernatural story time? Maybe. Is it a get ready room? Maybe. Is it a vlog? Maybe. I am bringing so much to you guys this year. We're going to June. Be very, very, very alert. There's new surprises upon surprises upon surprises coming. Oh, it's go time.
Stay tuned. Just make sure you're on this page 24/7. Put your eye there. Keep watching. Keep expecting. We'll start dropping them just as rain falls from heaven. Be prepared.
And that's on what, Mom?
Period.
You guys. Bye.